Your antler? Yeah. They call them, right? It's a little weird out. Hey, Vic.
Hey, is my volume turned down?
I hear you.
Okay. Okay, I can hear you now. How's the weather over there?
It got calm for a little bit, so that's cool.
Oh, good. Good.
Remind me again, are you in Arkansas or Illinois?
I'm in Illinois right now.
Okay.
Out in Chicago, outside of Chicago area. I say that with, what's that?
Did you ever hear back from Yoga 6?
No, it's fine though. I've been really blessed to start getting private clients to teach, and I'm able to teach Sivananda style and really do some powerful classes, and then work with people with anxiety issues and PTSD. So it's more my niche. And on Saturday, I teach a teacher Sivananda style and start applying that to her practice. Because she said she really resonated with it, but needs a little bit of guidance. And I've been taking some amazing classes in India, online Zoom with teachers there, and just so beautiful. It's a beautiful practice. It's different. I enjoy power yoga, but I don't know if I was too, I don't know. I did everything to the exact T. I used modifications, but I added like my personality and with silliness and joy, because it is power yoga and that stuff's hard. So you kind of want to keep an uplifted mood. And they added Sanskrit, which I guess I wasn't supposed to do, but each their own.
So, power yoga. You know what I'm learning from the guy that actually coined the phrase power yoga, the guy that created the term? I'm learning that power yoga doesn't exist. What is power yoga? Power yoga is any time I spend strengthening benevolent qualities of my mind and eradicating the malevolent qualities. So it's not necessarily now it's been over the years turned into a style by Baptiste and Barrel and others. But the guy from the get-go, he was even just saying in a live seminar on Monday, he was saying power yoga doesn't exist. I'm like, wow, dude, you're confusing me. And then he got to explaining what he meant by that. And so we can practice power yoga doing, like tonight, we'll practice power yoga tonight in a yin flow, because what we're going to be doing is focusing, concentrating, fully experiencing an experience. And to do this is how we begin to do those spiritual push-ups, how we begin to feed the benevolent qualities and they get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Conversely, if we're feeding benevolence, well, we're starving malevolence and we're eradicating it. And I believe that the more people engage in this sort of thing, whether they're washing dishes in a mindful state or whatever they're doing, the more people are doing it, I think the better chances we have of a conscious shift of this planet to benevolence. You know, what did Gandhi say? Be the change, right?
Mm-hmm. So I like that you're taking those classes. I saw a picture of the books you posted on Facebook. I just ordered a bunch of books. I can't order anymore. For now, I went a little crazy, but yeah, I just feel like it was more calisthenics using yoga postures, which was beautiful, but I really like from Stevenanda, every single movement is integrated with an inhale and an exhale. There's
Yeah,
no in
yeah,
between. And I really love that. It does something to everything for me.
that's right.
So, mhm,
Inhales, extend, lengthen, exhales, fold,
mhm.
twist, ground. They're doing, we let our body do the same thing the lungs are doing. So when we inhale, the lungs expand. And inhale is an expanding move. When we exhale, the lungs contract. So we do a contracting move. Inhale,
Mhm.
exhale, hold. Inhale, stand, reach. Exhale, twist. Yeah, it's the breath becomes like the conductor for the orchestra, guiding the flow. It's a really cool thing.
Yeah,
And if we're focusing on that breath, concentrating, single point of focus, well, we don't have room in our attention budget to be thinking about all that other shit, right? Like budgets and schedules and skin colors and genders and all that stuff just kind of just we just become part of the consciousness for a little while, and we just get a touch into something that's kind of beyond the worldly, in my opinion.
I agree.
Hey, people are showing up. All right. Keisha, Liz, hello. Hey, Dawn, Ethel, I'm glad you're here. Oh, this is just getting exciting now. Hey, AJ, did you say Shivananda? That's what you're practicing?
Sivananda Yoga. Yeah, I'm taking
Yeah,
it in a part of Gurgaon, India. So I'm
yeah,
just very blessed with these teachers.
yeah. Brian talks about Shivananda. I've looked at it a little bit. Very cool. Very cool.
It implements relaxation, breath, the exercise, holding asana poses, a mindful, joyful state, a
Yeah,
vegetarian diet, and meditation. But for the practice, it's postures, the exercise, and relaxation. Like relaxation is everything. Like you often do stuff, but when you're like in between, you're back on the mat in savasana, coming back to the breath and letting your body experience that and slowing and relaxing the muscles again. It's interesting. To me, I resonate with it, you know?
man, I could have long conversation. We should have a conversation about this stuff sometime. It's very interesting.
Absolutely.
All right. So I think I've got this set at spotlight. So if you have everybody has their views set to speaker view, that'd be cool. Um, give that a few moments, and then if you would turn on your cameras, that would be great. Not required. There's no rules, man. Yoga, I don't know. In my whole lifetime, I have not seen a yoga rule book. If you see it, lend it to me. I'd like to read it. I don't know that it exists. But if you turn on your camera, cool. If not, cool. Either way. Um, tonight, I'm going to use bolsters. I never mess with bolsters. I had something in my head that said bolster is only for restorative. I was wrong. Now, I don't own a bolster, so I took a pillow and I just folded it in half. And hey, look, it's a bolster now. So if you want to grab a pillow, a cushion, a bolster, something, it doesn't have to be like Manduka brand perfect bolster by any means. So I'm using about it's going to sound gross, but this is about an 8-year-old pillow, and I just fold it in half. And with that being said, yeah, we're going to use a bolster. And some of these poses, you might get to thinking, oh, this is restorative. No, we're not doing restorative tonight. At least it's not intended to be. Here's the difference between yin and restorative, and they get confused at times. With restorative, we're trying to create like a sensory deprivation, like one of those float tanks. We're trying to minimize and get rid of sensation, to totally let go of it. Yin, we're looking for sensation. And we're going to use bolsters for just various things, kind of explain it as we go along. So with that said, how are we? Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So let me make sure muting is there. Good. And any other props that you might like to have, have them handy. But yeah, let's play with bolsters. And this was just a couple hours ago that I discovered this. So I'm going to go off of notes tonight. All right. So I want to welcome you all. I'm very glad you're here. If you would, just take a seated position. Something cross-legged. Something grounding. My one of choice on that is usually a siddhasana. I'll bring my heels towards my groin, stack my ankles, and let knees fall to the mat. But maybe that's not for you. Maybe you like a sukhasana, padmasana. Just get seated. Good. Good evening, Rhonda. Good. All right. We're just starting out seated here. And to take care of our spine, let's erect our spine. Use the back muscles just enough to keep spine tall. Shoulders are soft, just distance from ears. They're kind of heavy even. And you can pretty much do as you please with your hands as long as it's still. And just begin to tune into your breath. Those two words, tune in, are going to be very key tonight, as with any practice, tuning in. Let your breath move natural. But tune into it. Pay attention, look at it. My meditation practice is usually going to be based on one of three subjects. 3 yogas, either jnana, or bhakti, or karma. Tonight we'll look at jnana. That is the yoga of wisdom. A very smart old boy, very spiritual guy, not many are aware, named Einstein. He says that all wisdom comes from experience. Everything else is just information. We gather our wisdom through our experience. Our experience is our teacher. So this next few breaths, just make some space by just asking, can I set aside everything I think I know about this practice, this instructor, myself, my own practice? Can I set these aside so that I can have new experience? Jnana can be called concentration as well. How do we experience? We tune in. We concentrate. Focus. Where we're at, what we're doing. This enables us to fully experience the experience we're in, to feel the feelings, as we stay concentrated and focused. It gives us some distance from all the other things, like schedules, deadlines, budgets. Those things just kind of become ambient. How do we focus? We're given something. We'll call it breath. You can just pay attention to breath entering your nostrils, exiting your nostrils. The inner rings of your nostrils, just inside the nostril there, that area, can you feel the air passing it as it enters and it leaves? And if you can't feel that, it's all right. Just look for it. Just kind of stare. Mind's eye. And we'll just stay with this throughout the practice, and you'll find it slips away. It wavers. No problem. No judgment. No frustration. Just say, oh, there it goes again. Come right back to the air moving across those rings of your nostrils. When we take our first pose, just take your bolster. We're just going to come to flat to our belly. And if you're like me using the pillow, just put one edge of that pillow, solar plexus, the other edge down on your pelvis so that the pillow is at your belly. Then you can just stack your hands with elbows bent. Just drop your forehead down to the back of your hands. And now that you're there, let's return to your breath. And every time that you find yourself writing the thoughts, just no problem. You come right on back. Even if you find that happening like every couple seconds, did you know that's very normal? This is something that we practice. With consistent, dedicated practice, that 3 seconds between thoughts might become 7 seconds. It becomes 10 seconds, 15. And as those spaces in your mind begin to open up, you find somewhere very special to just dwell for the moment. Just keeping your belly right where it's at. Just lift your head for a moment. Bring your arms down your sides. Lay the back of your hands on the mat. And let your forehead fall down to the mat. Just let it rest right there. And notice how the corners of your shoulders start falling forward towards the mat. Shoulder blades may be spreading a little bit. The back of the neck might be lengthening a little bit. And as you return to your concentration, these are the sensations that you get to fully experience. Even in active asana, this information we're collecting is what we use to make a decision. Stay in the pose, modify the pose, skip the pose. But we're not just reacting any longer. We're observing, we're gathering information, we're having the experience, and then we're making a decision. We kind of end up where we are getting ahead by slowing down. Again, if you find yourself following the thoughts, just acknowledge it. Let it go. Come on back. It's perfectly normal. From here, bring your arms forward and just slide your bolster up where now your belly is on the mat. Your ribs are on your bolster. Just bring your elbows out in front, bend them. The base of your palm where it meets your wrist, just kind of place that at your eyes. The meat of your palm where your fingers meet, just put that against your forehead. And then just let the weight of your head settle into your hands. So just slight pressure on eyes. Make any little adjustments to kind of get a stroke to your neck there. The front of your neck is lengthening. Once you find the spot, moderation, return to the concentration. Single point of focus, breath. And it's kind of like we're just finally allowing ourselves Just suck every bit of juice out of every moment that life offers, fully experiencing, feeding and growing our wisdom, honing, sharpening our discernment. You know, cognition and intuition. And without wisdom, well, those don't really have much to work with, do they? Now you can remain just like you are, or if you wish, just bring your palms right down to the mat. Just rotate them down to the mat and open them up a little, maybe shoulders width. Press into your palms, straighten your arms, and just let your upper back bend into your chest. Kind of like seal, but a little less. Eyes can remain closed. Just find the sensation. Once it's revealed, return to the concentration. Because we all know that that's the precursor to meditation. It's kind of like pouring oil slowly, drip, 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 drip. That's concentration. It pours a little faster, drip, 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 drip. A little faster becomes a stream. And that's the meditation. Yeah. Some folks like Mudra. Mudra for this is Jnana Mudra. Anytime your palms are free, you can just put index finger, thumb tip together. When your palms are free, I don't know if that works or not, but can't hurt to try, you know, maybe. Good. Now, wherever you're at, just lift a little bit to set bolster to the side and come all the way down to your belly. You can rest your head on the backs of your hands, and we just call it a rebound just for a moment. Feel the sensation, the lingering of what you just did. Yeah. Moving on, we just push back to a child's pose. We'll just push the butt back to the heels and keep knees kind of close, not touching, but maybe fist width apart. And we'll do two variations. First variation, knees about fist width. Run your arms down your side and just lay the back of your hands on the mat. Let your head drop. Let the corners of your shoulders round forward. Soften into it. That place that feels right. And then return to concentration. Remember the inner rings of nostrils. Feel air passing by them as you inhale, as you exhale. Maybe you feel that spot on your upper lip as the air just kisses it as it passes. Maybe you've noticed how poses with not so intense sensation, thoughts are maybe not so rowdy. It's almost like when we get into more intense sensation, the mind decides it doesn't want to feel that or look at that. It gives you a message to fidget or shift or move. And everybody knows that you're breaking the strongest addiction of your life. It's bound to have withdrawal symptoms. A little agitation, a little boredom. How about distraction? How am I distracted when there's nothing going on around? Interesting. Staying in child's pose, just bring your arms forward. Open your knees just a little bit, not a whole lot. Just enough to slide your arms down between your legs like you're reaching for your feet. Toes are touching. Maybe you can touch your feet. And this is a little harsh on the neck. So how about rotate your head to one side or the other and place your cheek against the mat. And always just returning to the breath, concentration. And there's no reason for discouragement when mind wanders and takes our attention. It's just like in active asana. We know we do what we can, we don't do what we can, but every little bit we do, we know nourishes us. When the mind wanders and you're able to come on back, you're being nourished. And without challenge, there's no benefit to the exercise, now is there? And so these difficulties, like wandering mind, these challenges, they become blessings of their own sort. They help us to grow, to strengthen, to develop. As we stay with our consistent and dedicated practice. Yeah. And then if your head is turned one way, how about turn it the other now? Just so we get both sides of the neck nice and even. And maybe you notice one side of the neck isn't the same as the other. Ain't never gonna be, ain't never been. It's nothing to be disturbed about. It just is what it is. Every breath, we're just getting a little further away from that rat race. That constant bombardment of we have to do more, we have to be better, we have to be stronger, we have to have more. It just starts to give some distance. It just becomes not a part of it. It's kind of like you're in no hurry whatsoever. Breathe and bring your arms out from between your legs. And just come on up to hands and knees, but I bet you might want to turn sideways on your mat. so that your knees are on the mat, your hands are probably on the floor. And just start moving your knees out away from each other and your ankles out away from each other. Knees and ankles are going to stay in line. And normally in this pose, frog, we point our toes away from each other, but not tonight. Let's keep the toes pointing just straight away, back. It's easier on the knees. Open knees up to personal degree where you're feeling hips, inner thighs. And from there, come on down to your forearms. And once you're there, you might open knees and ankles just a little scooch more. Open your elbows out, and maybe you can either drop your forehead down to the back of your hands. Some folks maybe going to want to come down, chest on the mat, chin forward on the back of their hands. There's just a couple different ways to access the tissues. It's really no big secret that inch for inch, the hips are the largest articulation on the body. Now we tend to put stuff in them. So it really would make sense that thoughts might get a little more rowdy with both hips open. Kind of like the mind says, oh, wait, I've got things stashed in the hips that I don't want to let go of. Maybe resentments. I don't know. But there's all kinds of things that for some reason the mind, the ego, attaches to. So right there, that urge to shift, to fidget, to do anything but just feel the feel. That there is withdrawal symptom. That's mind desperately trying to hold on to what you no longer need. Isn't that interesting? And as we just stare at breath, moving in, moving out, focus, concentration, we can observe the lila, the play that's going on. And at some point, we're no longer the lead actor in the movie. We're actually sitting in the audience watching the movie. Just watching it unfold. Hmm. we'll come out of this just gentle, step by step, coming up to your hands, straightening your arms, and just start to walk your knees back closer to each other, right back to that table pose. And just a little side to side with your hips, maybe some circles with the hips. Just kind of letting the prana flow. Yeah. Just push back and sit on your heels, shins against the mat, spine up tall. Just a few breaths right here, feeling the rebound. Now, your bolster or your pillow, just reach over, grab it. We'll set it up here on our mat, kind of on a diagonal. Place your hands out kind of to the sides of it, and just bring your right shin and right knee to the mat outside that front edge of your bolster. So the outside of your right thigh is on the bolster. Just use your left toes to walk your left knee back. And all we're doing here is a pigeon, but we're using this cushion, pillow, bolster to take it out of our knee and put it all into our right hip. Once you've walked your left knee back to your personal degree, just release the top of your left foot. Lengthen your breastbone forward, and maybe come on down to some forearms. And then finally, just a little push down and back with your right sit bone. Oh yeah, there's that spot, right? So eliminating the sensation in the knee, we can just really indulge in our right side piriformis mainly, and some other hip tissues, but mostly piriformis. And as we're feeling the feels, feeling the sensation, we return to the concentration. And there's the mind doing what it does, right? I mean, what's the need for any movement? Unless there's danger of injury, there's really no need for movement. And yet we feel a need to move. That's the mind doing what it does. So we practice, we concentrate, we breathe, we focus. We just open up that space to where we no longer have to react. We just observe. Yeah. Come on up to your hands. Bring your right leg back, right back to your tabletop. Tell you what, just take your right leg all the way back like plank. Set the toes on the mat, straight right leg, and just push away with your right heel for a moment. Oh, how about that, huh? And come to hands and knees. Just rock your hips side to side. Just in case we miss something, right there in the corner, there's a cobweb or something, just a little side to side kind of puts a Swiffer to it. Now we just get that left side. Situate your bolster on a diagonal. Just bring your left knee and left shin to the floor, just beyond, so that your outer left thigh comes down into the cushioning. Staying up on your right thigh, just start rocking, walking your right knee back with your toes. Just notice your right thigh is getting some length, right? And once everything is appropriate to your personal degree, little lengthen your breastbone forward, come on down the forearms. And then finally, just a little pressure down and away, kind of into your left sit bone. You'll feel it. It doesn't take much. It's just a gentle touch, right? And that's what it's about. Whether we're doing active yang or passive yin, it's all about moderation, gentleness. And I don't know how to take care of anything without touching you gently. Never, never in your life have you seen healthy relationship respond positively to force, aggression, especially the relationship you have with your sacred partner, the body. Now, moderation does not have to mean easy. We can do challenging things with a moderate attitude, a moderate approach. It's very, very foreign, especially if you're in the United States, it's really different. So we practice. We rewire the programming. We break the addiction. We breathe. spot. Walk your hands back towards your shin, just kind of lifting up. No hurries, just make your way back to a tabletop, but tell you what, just extend your left leg back like you're going to a plank, toes down, push out through your left heel, straight left knee. Knee was bent for a while, you're just kind of rebounding from it. And then lower your left knee next to your right one, and you on all fours. Again, just rock the pelvis side to side, no hurries, just make it like sensuous, feel, listening, feeling, responding to your partner's requests, like intimacy. And now, right on back, just like we started, seated position of your choice. Might be the same one you started with. You just spent all that time preparing for meditation. In your seated position, bring your spine tall. Back muscles are going to work a little bit, but nothing extreme. The more we sit, the longer we sit, we want to take care of our spine. So just get used to keeping it erect. Shoulders are heavy, like they just falling away from the ears. Yeah. With your backs of your hands down on thighs towards your knees. Bring index and thumb together. Jnana Mudra. Like I said, I don't know if it works, but man, it sure as hell can't hurt to try. Jaw level, chin down, so neck is long without bending. Just let your eyes close. Breath is moving steady, natural, through your nose. It's like you're not even doing it. It's moving of its own accord. We're just going to make a little game out of this, a little game you can play. And it makes it more fun. Feel the air moving, whether that's the rings of your nostrils, the upper lip. Notice that sensation. Bring every bit of your attention to that. And this game we play is we just see how much space we can create between our thoughts, the interstices, the gaps. It might be a couple seconds. No problem. Keep trying. Just keep going. About 10 minutes. You don't have to worry about a clock. I'll watch the clock. You watch your breath. Anytime it wanders, just bring the attention right back to the movement of air, breath, prana. Doing nothing but sitting, breathing, concentrating. No mind of achieving. There's nowhere to go, nothing to achieve. Just being here, now. As those gaps, as they grow longer, get the faintest little glimpse. Something just kind of beyond stuff, just beyond the darkness when we close our eyes. What is that? With the concentration becoming so quiet, so still. Maybe hearing something that you ain't never heard before, because you were never so still, never so quiet. In those spaces, or maybe you find that place place is always with you. It's always there. No matter the situation, circumstance, issue, none of that matters. That place is always there. Practice. Just slowly begin opening up the access to that place. It's always there. There. And it's in that place. We are all one. One consciousness, one energy, one love. Just flow. Yeah. Now it's been 10 minutes, but that does not mean you have to come out. You stay here as long as you like. There's no rules. But I will leave you with your breath, with your stillness, offering you my gratitude, offering you my love. Om Shanti.